Hello students, how are you all today? This is Ashar Khan from Shiv Jyoti Educational Group Kota, and today we'll be learning chapter number 3 of your geography. The name of the chapter is Motions of the Earth. Before we begin, please open your books in front of you on page number 18, and now we'll start learning this chapter. Now let me tell you what is motion. We'll be learning about motions of the earth. So what is motion? Supposedly see, if I am walking, this is my motion right now. Similarly, our earth also has two motions, two different types of movements. Now let us learn about them. The earth has two types of motions, namely rotation and revolution. Rotation is the movement of the earth on its axis. The movement of the earth around the sun in a fixed path or orbit is called revolution. You can underline both of these. These are the definition of rotation and revolution. What are these? These are the two different kind of movements of our planet Earth. One is on its own axis, which is called rotation, and the another is when it revolves around the sun, that is called revolution. Now, moving on. The axis of the earth is an imaginary line which makes an angle of 66.5 degrees with its orbital plane. Let me explain this with the help of an example. Now, as you can see on this diagram, this is the axis. Now, this is the orbital plane. The orbital plane and the axis makes an angle of 66.5 degrees. These are the latitudes, Tropic of Cancer, Equator and Tropic of Capricorn. The equator divides our earth into two equal halves, the northern hemisphere and the southern hemisphere. India falls in the northern hemisphere. I hope you understood. Going back. Now, the plane formed by the orbit is known as the orbital plane. We know that the earth receives light from the sun, that the sunlight that we get. From where do we get it? From the sun. Due to the spherical shape of the earth, only half of it gets light from the sun at a time. Because our earth is round, only half of the earth gets light at one time. Now, the portion facing the sun experiences day, while the other half away from the sun experiences night. Let me show you. As you can see in this diagram, this is our sun. The sunlight which is falling on this side of the earth. So this side of the earth will experience day, while the other side which is facing away from the sun will experience night. You can find this diagram in your book on page number 18 only. Again, the circle which divides the day from night on the globe is called the circle of illumination. There is a particular line which divides day and night. That line is called the circle of illumination. Here is the circle of illumination which is dividing day from the night. Now, our earth rotates. I just told you that our earth rotates on its own axis. So what will happen? When the earth will rotate from west to east, soon this side will face the sun. Now this side will have day and the other side will go back and it will experience the night. Our earth takes 24 hours to complete one rotation. Now, this circle does not coincide with the axis. The earth takes about 24 hours to complete one rotation around its axis. The period of rotation is known as the earth day. This is the daily motion of the earth. So in 24 hours, earth completes one full day, and this is the daily motion, means this takes place daily. Now, let us ask this question, what would happen if the earth did not rotate? Supposedly, the earth stops rotating. हमारी जो धरती है, वो घूमना बंद कर दे. What will happen? See, the portion of the earth facing the sun would always experience day and thus bringing continuous warmth to the region. See in this diagram? If our earth stops rotating, what will happen? This particular area will receive sunlight and it will get very, very hot. Correct? And this particular area will remain in darkness because our earth has now stopped rotating, and this will continue having night only. The other half would remain in darkness and be freezing cold all the time. life would not have been possible in such extreme condition. So what will happen if our earth stops rotating? अगर धरती घूमना बंद कर दे तो क्या होगा? This side will be forever day only because it will receive continuous sunlight, and this side will be forever night because there will be no sunlight on this side. This side will get very hot and the other side will get very cold. Different plants, animals and humans as well cannot survive in extreme hot or extreme cold, and that's why life would not be possible on earth. So you see, the rotation of the earth is very important because life would not have been possible in such extreme condition if our earth stopped rotating. I hope you understood. Moving on, now we come to the other motion of the earth, which is revolution. What is revolution? It is the second motion of the earth around the sun in its orbit. Means when the earth goes around the sun in an orbit is called revolution. Similarly, revolution takes 365 days or approximately 1 year to revolve around the sun. 365 days plus 1/4 of a day, which is 6 hours, to complete one revolution around the sun. Now, what do we do with that 6 hours? I just told you that one revolution takes place 365 days and 6 hours. We don't count those 6 hours for 3 years. 6 hours we save every year, and they are added to make one day 24 hours over a span of 4 years. Means we don't count them for 3 years. That means 6 hours, 6 hours, 6 hours and 6 hours. That is 24 hours. So in the 4th year we add an extra day in the month of February. Thus every 4th year February is of 29 days instead of 28 days. Such a year with 366 days is called a leap year. What happens? हमारी अर्थ को revolution complete करने में कितना टाइम लगता है? 365 days and 6 hours. So for 3 years we count only 365 days and we save 6 hours per year. But 4th year में we count all those 6 hours and we add 1 month at the end of February, and that year is called a leap year because it has 1 day extra. That means 366 days. I hope you understood. Now you can see in this diagram how the earth takes a revolution around the sun. Starting from here, as you can see, the earth is tilted towards the sun. The northern hemisphere is tilted towards the sun. So what will happen? The northern hemisphere will experience summer, while the southern hemisphere will experience winter. 21 June is known as summer solstice, means it is the longest day on the earth. Moving on, we come to equinox. What is equinox? Means equal day and equal night. On equinoxes, neither of the side is tilted towards the sun, so we experience equal days and equal night. The northern hemisphere experiences autumn and the southern hemisphere experiences spring season. Then during winter solstice around 22nd December, the northern hemisphere is tilted away from the sun while the southern hemisphere is tilted towards the sun. So what will happen? The southern hemisphere will be experiencing summer and the northern hemisphere will be experiencing winter. Since India falls in northern hemisphere, in around December we experience winter. Okay? Then again we have an equinox. We have 2 equinox per year. Now another equinox means equal day and equal night. But now the northern hemisphere is experiencing spring season and the southern hemisphere is experiencing autumn season, and this cycle repeats itself again and again, and that is how our season changes. From the figure it is clear that the earth is going around the sun in an elliptical orbit. You can see that the circle here is not round at all, it is elliptical. Elliptical means like an egg. Notice that throughout its orbit the earth is inclined in the same direction. You can see that throughout the orbit the earth is inclined, means in the same direction, it is tilted. Now seasons of the earth. A year is usually divided into summer, winter, spring and autumn, as I have just told in that example. Seasons change due to the change in the position of the earth around the suns. Like we saw, why are the seasons changing? Because the position of the earth is changing around the sun. That is why seasons are continuously changing in a year. On 21st June, the northern hemisphere is tilted towards the sun, The rays of the sun fall directly on the Tropic of Cancer, which is the northern hemisphere. As a result, these areas receive more heat and the northern hemisphere experiences summer. The areas near the poles receive less heat as the rays of the sun are slanting. The North Pole, which is the topmost part of the earth, is inclined towards the sun, and the places beyond the Arctic Circle experiences continuous daylight for about 6 months. So in the northern hemisphere on 21st June, the North Pole experiences 6 months of daylight, continuous daylight. And since a large portion of the northern hemisphere is getting light from the sun, it is summer in the regions north of the equator. The longest day and the shortest night at these places occur on 21st June. That is why 21st June we have the longest day and the shortest night. And at this time in the southern hemisphere, all these conditions are reversed. It is winter season there and the nights are longer than the days. This position of the earth is called the summer solstice. So on 21st June we experience the summer solstice, means the longest day. Now on 22nd December, the Tropic of Capricorn receives direct rays of the sun as the South Pole tilts towards it. Now on 22nd December, the South Pole is tilting towards the sun, which means it receives direct rays of the sun. As the sun's rays fall vertically at the Tropic of Capricorn, a larger portion of the southern hemisphere gets light. So at around 22nd December, what will happen? Most of the sunlight is falling on Tropic of Capricorn, southern hemisphere. So southern hemisphere will experience summer, and as we are living in the northern hemisphere, we will have the reverse condition. So what will we have? We will experience winter. Therefore, it is summer in the southern hemisphere with longer days and shorter nights, and the reverse happens in the northern hemisphere, and this position of the earth is called the winter solstice. So on 21st June we experience summer solstice, and 22nd December we experience the winter solstice. I hope you understood till now. Our last topic is equinox. What is equinox? On 21st March and September 23rd, on these 2 days, direct rays of the sun fall on the equator, means the middle of the earth. And now at this position, neither of the poles is tilted towards the sun, so the whole earth experiences an equal day and equal night, and this is called an equinox. Normally what happens? We experience longer days in summer and shorter nights in summer. But on equinoxes, we experience an equal amount of day and equal amount of night. I hope you understood this chapter. Please read this chapter carefully again in your book, and I hope you are all staying safe. Thank you so much.